Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. We are fresh and we're ready to go. The sun is shining. Mount Fuji is visible. And we're gonna leave Kei's mountain view, Kei's Fuji view for the forest. You know what, I gotta stop referring to it as a suicide forest. It's not called a suicide forest. It's called the, it's got a name. I'll give you the name later.
Aokigahara.
Aokigahara. Yeah. This is my friend from Argentina. Say hi. And he has a very interesting cup, which is like a lathed cut aluminum. What is this?
So this is a mate.
Mate.
A mate.
M-A-T-E?
Yeah.
R? Okay, M-A-T-E.
And this has the leaves, branches, and like some kind of dust, like matcha.
Okay.
The whole plant is
Ground together?
ground together,
Okay.
and you get this.
Wow. I mean, that's like my dad's driveway had that on the side. Okay, and
You
then,
put it together, you mix it up, and you use hot water, not boiling water,
okay.
and it's like a tea.
And
Very
there's a aluminum
Yeah.
straw. And then the inner wall
There's
of that.
lots of types
Okay.
of containers for
Oh, okay.
yerba mate. This is yerba mate.
Okay. Yerba
The whole
mate.
thing is mate, but
So is it necessary to have a wood lining in your cup? Is that like something did you choose this cup because it's different,
Yeah.
or did you choose it
it
because
actually smells really good.
Yeah.
This type of wood. It's called Palo Santo.
Palo Santo?
But the thing is that it should have an English name. It's very smelly. Usually, if you burn it,
It have a really nice
has a
aroma.
really- yeah.
And I've never seen a straw that is a metal straw like that. Was it round when you first got it and you just keep chewing it until it's flat?
No, it was like this. It's like a tea.
Yeah. Very interesting. That's what you learn when you travel. You see different people with different cultures using different implements to eat and drink different things. Cool. Tying things on.
Getting quicker now.
Yeah. And you'll get better at it too. Like you'll find wrapping it certain ways. But now you got a jacket to contend with.
Huh?
Big poofy jacket now.
Yeah, I swear.
This is Felix.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah.
He's going a little lighter than me.
Yeah.
What's your mission?
My mission is Mount Fuji today, Station 5.
Yeah. In the clouds somewhere up there. What's your overall mission?
Finding my I don't know, like where I want to be in the future.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I quit
Finding
my
your
old job.
essence.
Yeah, I quit my old job and I thought I'd come up with an idea of what to do in life, but so far, I don't know, I just enjoy it.
The road will tell you eventually. Cool. Well, good luck. Now the forest we're headed to is just next to a city called Kawaguchi Lake. It's the main jumping off point for people that might want to climb Mount Fuji. If you're interested in seeing somebody climb Mount Fuji, I did it a few days ago with my friend John, so I'll leave a link to that. Do you want to stop here at all?
Yeah, let's go.
And maybe afterwards we go down in front of the lake instead of this road.
Okay.
Okay, let's put our bikes over there. These fall colors are beautiful and at the same time spooky. So that'll be nice. A nice contrast to spending the night in a forest that has some bad stories attached to it. But we're looking for some good stuff. So let's take a look in town, see what's going on, and then we'll head in to find our campsite a little later. Isn't this sort of how all scary movies start? We hang out at the festival in town, and then later we go into the forest and camp out and drink some beers. And then Jason comes out and I'm trying to teach John some vlogging tips, and one of them is, if there's a cute dog in the area,
Right there.
put it in the video.
Dude,
Everybody likes cute stuff.
this looks like a cannon.
You know the Chinese roasters that explode?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, really.
For you guys interested in seeing what wasabi root looks like, look, that's wasabi root. So that stuff you put on your sushi? You want to try it? I gotta buy it if you try it. What's the name of this pepper? Is this
I don't know.
You don't know. Enjoy.
No, not that one. Together.
You're crazy.
No.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
He's crazy.
I'm gonna give you one more.
Where do you grow it? Tokyo?
We are staying in hotel now. Hotel owner,
He gave you.
he gave me.
Wow, cool, cool, cool.
He said.
One is one. It's very tasty. You should try it, John.
Man.
Try one. You gotta have one.
If I eat it, I'll die.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's not hot. Rose. Eat a little.
Go ahead.
Don't scare. No, don't eat all. Half. He will die.
Looks like a tree is growing out of that building, you know. You know that beautiful building back there? With the tree popping out, just gorgeous? It's a shitter. We're gonna leave here. We had some coffee at a little coffee shop, and we're gonna head to the Aokigahara forest. Just to give you a little background, this forest was sort of made famous by a few films. They were kind of horror. I don't know, it just sort of caught on in a weird way in Japan, and people have been using it as a location to end their lives. And it's ending your life early is about as far away from Jayoe as you could possibly get, you know. And you might be asking, why are you going there? It is a different aspect of life, and it's not something I like to focus on. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go there. I'm going to show you any signs of lives that are in despair and things like this, and I'm going to contrast that with the beauty and enormity of nature, because maybe it's an interesting contrast to show you the downright worst moments that people might ever have, and contrast that with the fact that we live in such a beautiful place on the earth. So I'm told from people who have been there and friends that I know that there are some very interesting things to see there. It would be my hope, actually, that I might find somebody waiting there, because I'm told that there are people that go into the forest and hang out and contemplate the end. And wow, wouldn't it be an impactful thing if we could go into the forest and meet somebody who is on the precipice of making a horrible decision, show them that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there is a potential for great things. In Asia, there's a stigma, there's a responsibility factor. People feel a great burden financially to take care of their family and get an education and go to the right school and do the right things. And you know what? Sometimes you don't do the right things, and sometimes the world smacks you in your face. You know, I've been depressed many times. I've been broke, I've been worn, I've been fearful, I've been sad, but I've always thought that I'll be wiser at the end of this road, and I'll be better once I get out of this funk. So let's see if we can get an interesting perspective of the suicide forest.
Hey, nice.
Thank you. guys. If you could smell what I smell. Autumn. We're here. Looks a lot different than it does at night, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look scary at all.
Yeah. This is one of the entrances to the forest. It's a really big area that's underneath Mount Fuji. We're right here, and as a matter of fact, there's areas that are way up higher where people do what this forest has become synonymous with. But they also do it quite close to here. As a matter of fact, this area is in the movie The Forest, which kind of immortalized this whole thing. There's a bus stop right across this way, right next to that tour bus, where people will stop and come off the bus. If you're coming by car, people will come here and they'll park their car, and their car will stay here. Now, not everybody that goes in there stays there. A lot of them decide to come back out and use the forest as a place of contemplation. But this is the starting point for a lot of those introspective journeys. This restaurant, as a matter of fact, is one of the places that people come to grab the last bite to eat. And this area over here, which is full of vending machines, is where a lot of people come and they gather up snacks and stuff and go in. Now, I could like sugarcoat this video and tell you that it's scary and I'm shivering in my boots, but this is actually a beautiful forest. It's actually a wonderful place to walk. I mean, the trees and the colors and everything are natural and beautiful. To just label this place as a fearful area where people off themselves and it's just ghastly is not necessarily the truth. In fact, I'm hoping to kind of dispel a few rumors that I've heard. I've heard if you go in there, your 4G turns off, your compasses don't work, GPS can't locate you. Some of those I think are true in some ways, but I'm interested in going in there and seeing it myself. Last supper.
Last supper. Don't say that.
This is where a lot of people come and have their last meal before they head into the forest. It's not even that good. Now, from what we've heard, when we get deep into the forest, our phones will lose their GPS service and 4G service. Let's see where we're at right now. I've got 4G and I've got 2 bars. And I've got 31% battery left. Ooh. Moss growing over all the trees. There's a lot of like broken and piled foliage everywhere. And I'm guessing that because we're here in a little bit of the autumn, it's a little bit more open. And I bet during the summertime it's almost dark here, even during the day, because the canopy's probably more filled in. You think we can get the trikes up here?
I think so.
Yeah. Let's try and think about where we might settle in. The ground that we're walking on is volcanic debris. I can feel it under my feet. It's sharp and bumpy. Our tents might get ripped unless we find a nice smooth place. Up here. Wouldn't that be cool to set up a tent up on the mound here? What's this? That's a boombox?
We found something interesting.
There's no tape in it.
What brand is it?
Oh.
This is so old.
Sony, of course. So what happens when somebody might want to come here and contemplate the end of things is they come in here and they tie on a string next to the main path. After they do that, they go in. And right here is a string. What do you say we follow the line? very quiet actually. Maybe somebody, or maybe some rocks. Either way, let's take a look. All right, this area here, it's hard to tell how recent this rope has been laid, but I think it looks pretty new. But this area looks like it's been used. Bags and a heat pad and some big shopping bags where somebody might have brought a bunch of food. Jeez. Could you be any louder? John is the opposite of being light-footed. With lighter fluid, bags where they probably brought some clothes or whatever. Half a wallet. I bet maybe half of it had their IDs or something. Maybe they cut it. The people that came here cut it and took it back, maybe? I don't know.
Is it fresh?
ID. This is like a document holder for maybe medical records or something. I bet this is like sort of a waypoint because they keep going. We should keep going. Maybe they hang out here. I mean, this is old. There's some old stuff here. Some of me thinks maybe this is staged.
Cut it in the point.
And here's an older string. This is an older line. The line is brand new. And even this path here has been walked fairly recently. Maybe even you have some people here that are just sort of like thrill seekers going and playing the movie. This place reminds me of Lord of the Rings. Like an ancient forest covered in moss and overgrowth. You're walking on the remnants of trees and trees past. Just over and over and over. Growth and decay and growth and death and then decay. Growth, death, decay. And this one white line. This one white line stretching off. And just to tell you, we have 2 bars and my GPS is working good. In fact, I'm going to send a picture to Annie. We don't want to be out here past sunset, which is about 40 minutes away. So I think that leaves us about 20 more minutes of walking through the forest. But my assumption is that we will not come upon anybody or anything other than this line and maybe those areas of trash. People, if that was their intention, they go deep. They go deep so that if, you know, they don't really want to be found if that's their purpose. And I'm not saying that this line wasn't put there by maybe some hiker that wanted to venture into the forest and laid down this rope so he could find his way back. Either way, it's not as spooky as I thought, that's for sure. We could camp in this area right here, I guess. Or try to find a flat area. If he really wanted to come here to do what we're thinking, I bet he went down 5 times as much. I bet he's way, way down there, if he is there. I don't know where the saying, "we've come to the end of the line," comes from exactly. But in this case, we have literally come to the end of the line. I look around this area and I see a broken branch here, a tagged tree over there, just like from a forestry service, but nothing else. John has a bad feeling about this. It's very hard because I'm totally disconnected from the people that might come here to end it. Not that I've never been depressed, but like I said earlier, I just have never gone so deep down the rabbit hole to want to leave this beautiful rock. And look at this place. It is beautiful. The string is right there.
Okay. I stay here.
Yeah.
You shout if something happens.
Okay. Here's a path. Whether it's animal or human, it's there. But I'll tell you what, one thing I'm not seeing is garbage. I don't see any signs of people. Well, folks, it's getting late, and I don't want to go too far deep into this place. Oh, look at this. It's a path. The path. It's a path. It's the path. All right, so we've run onto an actual trail. I don't know, unless I guess you passed this trail and went straight. I don't see how you could really get lost because we're bordered on all sides by trails. And I'm guessing you could find one of those trails. Now, if you were to go beyond those trails, even then, there's a 702 road and a 71 road, a highway on one side and a 21 on the other. And the max you would have to walk would be 5 or 6 kilometers before you hit a road. I don't know, I'd have to dispel the rumor that you could get lost in here too easy. If anything, I think it might be a little hard to get lost. You could hide. You could hide here very easily, but I'm not sure if you could really get lost. Over here. I feel like we're in a fairy tale. Hansel and Gretel. Yeah. Hansel. I'm Gretel. Careful. Took the whole tree off.
There's a path.
Yeah, yeah. It's on the map. I mean,
We took camp on the path, not this one.
we could.
Oh,
Look at this.
it is precise.
Look at this. Checking network. What does this mean? I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Yeah, my WeChat's gone. Scared?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
We have a path here.
Yeah. Not spooky. No camping, no biking, no capturing butterflies, no garbage. John really wants to catch butterflies.
What?
Well, folks, instead of it being fearful and scary, it's going to be a really interesting night in a beautiful forest. This is the checkpoint where the light was.
Okay.
We have a celebrity.
This is crazy.
Uh-oh, my trike is being explored. Konnichiwa. Go ahead. Bye-bye. Thanks, sir. Road heating area. What do you think that actually means the road is heated?
No.
You know? What does that mean? Okay, so we're leaving that area for now. There's people there guarding the entrance, and I don't think we can run in there and set up camp very easily. But the guy said there's a campsite up the road, so we'll go check it out. If it's a nice campsite, maybe we'll just stay there. And if it isn't, we'll come back here and hopefully everybody's gone and we can go camping inside the forest. This is the road heating area. This whole road is heated. Now, tell me that doesn't make you think that the trees are gonna come out and grab you by the ankles and pull you into the forest, right? Parasite trees. Just really old tangled trees, I think is what it's saying, but I think so. But parasitic trees in the suicide forest. Like, come on now. Oh, oh no! Oh, arigato! Oh, jeez. Oh, sorry. Sorry. You come around. Here, take your helmet. So stupid. Stupid. Oh, jeez.
Epic fail.
I left all my batteries over there.
I left my GoPro charging.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice guy. 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Right side.
Okay.
Hotel.
Hotel. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
What the fuck? Why? Why did we forget this?
I don't know, dude. Because we know we'll be back there. Yeah. Probably.
Yes.
Subconsciously. That guy was the guy that told me where the campsite was, or the place to stay. And he must have noticed that we had our things charging. I would have forgotten that would have been shitty. That's literally all my drone batteries.
Right?
All of them. But did you hear what else he said?
No.
He said hotel.
Oh.
I don't want to stay at a hotel.
No.
Let's go up here, we'll hang out, and maybe we'll come back.
Yeah. Also, we find some green.
You want to take a look?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Cross. There's some lights on inside it though. It's like a restaurant or something. What does that say? To the direction of peace
and ruins exploration.
Although in such situation people live, the valuable thing has nothing. If it is, it will correct.
It becomes and moves out.
And moves out. You read it.
It is becoming and carrying out after a store collapses in snow damage. Foolish which enters repeatedly is, even though it has not carried out a fortuitous meeting yet, since I am fearful also here, appropriate arms are prepared whenever it enters. It is restrained by the police by a report, fingerprinting, etc. for about 4 hours. Since it is really troublesome, please
do not enter freely in How.
That
Whoa.
is so poetic.
That is crazy.
It's so poetic.
Wow.
That's just Dell computer.
Do the ghosts want to buy a Dell computer?
Even they are Americanized.
Yeah. Stupid ghosts. They need to go with Apple.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so it's cold. See that? Now I don't know if we're gonna be able to camp inside the forest. So what we're gonna do is set up camp outside. We are next to a soccer field on a little side road. We're far enough away from anybody that nobody's gonna bother us. So we're gonna set up our tents out here and make like base camp. Then hopefully around 9 o'clock we can head back to the suicide forest. Everybody will be gone. We can go in, walk around, check it out, maybe sit there for a little while and just experience what it's like in the night in the suicide forest. So for now we're just gonna set up camp and making sure there's nobody gonna come out here. So for now we're just gonna set up camp and head out there a little later. Computer all charged?
Yeah.
Where are we right now?
We're in an onsen in a 5-star hotel.
This is about as far from the Forbidden Forest as you can get. we laid our tents outside of this hotel in an area that's free, and then we walked right into the hotel, walked right into the onsen. Nobody asked us any questions, and we have been sitting in a beautiful hot tub for the last hour. Let me show you, and I can show you this one because nobody's here. We own this place. We've been charging all of our stuff and just killing time and hanging out in the onsen. Let me take my socks off, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Check this onsen. Oh, it's fogging up. So this has been our onsen for the last hour for free. We've been sitting in this beautiful hot tub just hanging out, talking about life, looking at the stars which are out there, and then the inside area here. I can show you through the glass actually. So we got this hot tub, all the wash areas, and not one person has come in here to tell us to go. It's crazy. So now the trick is, we've been sitting in this onsen for an hour. Do we leave scot-free? Because if we left and we didn't have to pay for anything, that would be the ultimate. But to be honest, if we leave, like normally when you come to a place like this, you pay to get in and they give you a towel, but what, are they gonna kick us out?
We're going out.
Get out of here. Okay, see you later. Thank you. So now what? Forbidden Forest?
No, I don't think so. I really don't have to.
He's been sitting in a hot tub for an hour. All right, we'll see. We'll catch you at whatever we decide. All right, guys, this is a situation. We are situated on our tents right here. We're technically in the forest. The area that we were at earlier is down the road a couple of kilometers. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go back there just so that I can show you what it looks like at night. John is gonna stay here. I'm just gonna run up there, take a look, and then come back. I had intended to camp there overnight. It's a little bit more difficult than that because they have security cameras at both trail entrances. They kind of scooted us out when they kind of shut down those trails, and so we set up our tents out here just so that we had a place to sleep. Now when I go back there, the cameras are going to record me milling around the entrances, and they'll probably send security out. But I want to go out there just to kind of show you what it looks like at night. Hopefully there are no cars parked in the parking lot, because that would mean that there's probably somebody on the inside, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, I'm gonna get the trike out and I'm gonna ride down to the entry of the path area. Just give you at least a good closing. I was sitting in the hotel lobby right outside the onsen, and we had our laptops open and we're warm and comfortable, and I looked at John and I'm like, man, I have to go back there tonight. I have to create an ending to this vlog, otherwise it really ends with a fizzle. It had already kind of ended with the fizzle because I wanted to camp in there, but it's really going to end with the fizzle if I don't go back there and at least end the story where I intended it to end. So I'm going to take you over to the forest one more time. Let's go. I don't know what happened to me recently in the last maybe 5 years, but I don't know, I feel like I've lost a lot of fear. I used to be really afraid of darkness, afraid of forests, afraid of creepy crawlies and things, and I feel like, I don't know, my skin has just thickened by huge amounts. I mean, I am literally going back into the entryway of the suicide forest because I feel like I really need to tighten this vlog up, and I'm really disappointed that we weren't able to set up camp there convincingly and all of these things. And if you would have met the Matt from hell even 5-10 years ago, he would have been so afraid of even going near that place. It's strange how you grow into a stronger man or lose some of those childhood fears. Part of this vlog is about going to confront your fears, instead embracing the beauty in places that ordinarily would be fearful. And that's what this forest is, you know, to me at least. It's a place that has been branded with such a horrible, tragic story. But in essence, it's this place that is so beautiful and has outlived and will outlive all of us. All right, here's a spot. The entryway is right up the path here. And this is the bathroom, and there's a car in front of me, parked with the windows fogged. Let's take a look at the entrance real quick. I'm gonna shed a little light here. So they have some infrared cameras. We saw them during the day. They're right here at the parking lot, taping this whole area. There's one car that was parked at the lot. It left. You can't see anything. I have a phone booth here. I understand the stress that causes people to contemplate and enter that forest without the desire to come out. I don't empathize personally, because I've always fought against those feelings, but I can appreciate the Asian mindset behind those stresses that cause somebody to go in there. You know, just like the hundreds of people that have stepped off buses at this bus stop to go in. The amount of willpower it takes to actually go through that is in a very obtuse way admirable. It's also very, very sad. You know, like even me standing here, I can feel the ghosts of so many of these lost souls that have entered that forest. I mean, not from a mystical way, but just from a practical way. Asians in particular, they have so much pressure. In China, I've lived there for 8 years, and I've seen students, you know, pressured so hard by their families to do a good job, and then they get into the workforce and they're pressured, and then they get into marriages and they're pressured, they're arranged. And there's pressures coming from all sides. It's funny because I've talked to people about what I'm doing, and I'm not saying that I'm doing something that's, you know, unbelievable, you know, or that I'm some sort of elevated figure. I'm just a normal person that is trying to do something extraordinary. A lot of people don't think that anything outside of this bubble that they've built around them is possible. And so they come and they step off this bus stop in the dark, or even during the day, just before the park closes, and they walk in there and they set up a tent in the forest that we walk through. And they sit there. And there's so much pressure on them from all these different angles. And it's sad, you know, because there's only pressure that you exert on yourself. And that's the truth. We create all these pressures, all these forces that we generate are forces from within pressed against us. You think it's a pressure from your family telling you you have to do a certain thing or you have to be a certain way, but you can read infinite stories of people that have resisted the pressures of family and went on to be great people in their own right. And you've read stories of people that have lost millions, lost billions, and they go on to create other businesses or use that failure as a prop to become even more successful in future goals. So any of these reasons that anybody was to walk in that forest, loss, let's say you lost a loved one, you know, that's probably the hardest one, you know, you lose somebody you love, you walk in there and you want to join them. But I can tell you that there are millions of stories of people that have lost. Everybody has lost, you know. Sometimes you take that loss and you make it, you internalize it, you make it stronger, you know. You carry on the memory of the person that you loved and you lost, and you try to live a better life in spite and for the memory of that person. I really believe that if I could stand at this entrance and talk to anybody that was willing to go in there for the very last time and never come out, that I could at least try to break through that ice, and that would be a truly amazing positive ending to a very branded negative place, because it's only branded negative. It's a beautiful forest. If you were to go inside, the quiet would be deafening. You might think of that quiet as something fearful, but you could also think of it as nature at its finest. Anyways, now this forest is full of many horrible stories, but none of them had to end that way. And who knows how many amazing stories ended there. Amazing stories that will never be told. How many scientists, businessmen, fathers, mothers, children, grandparents, the greatest mind might have ended before his time or her time. I guess that's what I wanted to say. I didn't want to come here and be such a negative Nancy, you know. And I didn't want to chronicle this area and say that it was such a spooky place and that evil resides there, because there's no evil in that. That's a forest. It's a forest where, you know, the unfortunates come. I just wanted to come back out here because I kind of feel like I screwed the pooch. When we got booted out and we didn't necessarily find a way back in to camp, and we ended up going down the street and setting up camp, I felt like this story was going to be left without an ending. I was thinking Blair Witchy, that, you know, we were going to be in there, set up camp, stationed, you know, in a tent, and then we could kind of like investigate the area around the tent, but that didn't happen. So this in turn is the ending. Take it for what it's worth. I'm gonna get back on my trike. My whole life, my whole mission is about adding fuel to life, you know, adding to become a better person by pushing the boundaries and pushing that fuel into yourself, whatever that is. It's so sad that so many people never have that epiphany that I've had, that the world is really an amazing place, and failure comes to the best of us. Without it, some of the most amazing things in the universe would never happen in the first place. So embrace failure, embrace sadness, embrace pain, embrace loss, because in essence it makes us better people. And to jump out of this beautiful world in spite of the thing that will define you, is the ultimate tragedy. You know, we live our lives and some of us never really see real tragedy. We never really are confronted with the true pain of loss or failure or any of those things. A lot of us need that in order to reach that higher level. This is not a place of endings. What might have caused you to come here is part of your new beginning. The world is your oyster, and no matter what anybody says, your parents, your family, your boss, your siblings, it doesn't matter. It only matters that you do good and that you persevere, because the world is full of love, and love is beyond failure. Just a few steps. So we're gonna end it. This thing's gone on too long. Hell, just this diatribe has gone 10 minutes, but I will leave it in. And Jayoe, I do not want any of you to come to this parking lot for anything other than a beautiful walk through an amazing forest. Jayoe.
Let me see that.